The Sigma male is a mystery to most. He has a rare and unorthodox way of thinking and behaving very different to other male personality types. One of the things that makes him so alluring is that he is a tough puzzle to crack, especially as he plays his cards quite close to his chest, coming across as very quiet and reserved on the outside. This means that some people may get the wrong idea and assume he is easy to manipulate or take advantage of. But that couldn't be further from the truth. It's just that his mind works in a different way, and there are many grounds as to why one should never fool with the Sigma male. And in this video, we're going to be looking at 9 reasons as to why it would be foolish to do so. Number 9. He will become distant and bottle up his emotions. The Sigma male is a calm and composed type of guy who tends to avoid all social interaction as much as he can. He prefers to spend his time introspecting, reflecting on his recent life decisions, or researching logical answers that support his decisions and opinions on a variety of topics. He's a rational thinker, but on the odd occasion he has to deal with someone who isn't as rational as he is. This can give rise to conflict between the Sigma and people who have little to no logic or evidence to back up their arguments. The Sigma is patient and tries to deal with these individuals rationally by presenting them with all the facts and logic that he's collected on the matter. But if they continue to display their ignorance and irrationality, refusal to see reason and change their perspective, then the Sigma will get very frustrated. When he gives up trying to prove his point, the Sigma is likely to become quiet, sullen, and isolate himself from the other person. He will become cold, distant, and cork up his emotions, which can be worrying, upsetting, and frustrating for the other person if they are close to him. Number 8. He may experience outbursts of anger. Suppressing his anger when he's frustrated or being messed with can unsurprisingly backfire and have negative consequences. If he's been wronged, he will keep his emotions bottled up for as long as he can. But we all have our limits, and when the Sigma reaches his limit, things can get pretty scary. More than any other male, the Sigma is likely to experience outbursts of anger at random, unexpected times. This is because he is the personality type most likely to suppress his emotions for the longest time, which is usually for far too long. The Sigma experiences many things in his daily life that he doesn't like or appreciate, and these can raise his stress levels, explaining why he usually prefers to spend time alone and distance himself. However, he then has to deal with accusations of being distant and therefore self-centered and selfish from people close to him, which can stress him out even more. Once he's tired of keeping his true feelings to himself, he will have a sudden urge to let his feelings be known and get his point across in the most aggressive and harshest of ways with justifications for his anger. So it's recommended not to invoke the wrath of the Sigma. Number 7. He doesn't feel guilt. Once he's lashed out in an outburst of anger or frustration, then you can forget about the Sigma feeling any guilt or shame for his actions. This is because he believes that what he did or how he reacted was necessary, either to stand up for himself, or because the other person deserved it, or most likely a combination of both. Within the social hierarchy, there are expectations for what someone should or shouldn't do, but the Sigma male doesn't conform and is usually able to take a step back and see things objectively without getting wrapped up in his own ego. This usually means he doesn't let his emotions control him, and he is difficult to offend. So if you do manage to do so, then you'd better watch out. The Sigma doesn't usually have emotional reactions, so the idea of losing control of himself is a daunting thought for a Sigma. So when he does lose his cool and lash out at other people, the only guilt he feels isn't for his actions towards them, but because he let his anger dictate his own actions or words. Not his typical careful planning, rationality, and consideration of the situation. Number 6. He will kick you to the curb. People who are lucky enough to be in the Sigma's inner circle, like good friends or partners, know that while it takes a lot to affect him emotionally, they will have to follow a specific set of rules if they want to make sure he doesn't become provoked and stay in his life. No matter how close the person in question is to the Sigma male, supposing they do or say something that attacks or opposes the Sigma's morals and values, or tries to give the Sigma orders to do things he doesn't want or doesn't like to do, then the Sigma will get angry. And if he's incensed enough, then he won't hesitate to kick you out of his life, possibly for good. When his well-being or tightly held beliefs are threatened, he will become emotionless and distant, like the calm before the storm. The anger that results from this can bring out the worst in him and end up hurting people close to him pretty badly, particularly when he abandons them and, metaphorically, leaves them out in the cold. Number 5. He will give you the cold shoulder. Productivity is a major key to the success of the Sigma male. He is the opposite of lazy, so when he has to be in the company of others, he prefers to be surrounded by those who possess the same work ethic. But there will be times that he encounters lazy people who are sloppy in their work and don't pull their weight with the rest of the team. And if that team includes the Sigma, well, beware. This is another rare time that his anger can be triggered and he feels a strong desire to pull the other person up on their behavior and correct their actions. Of course, the Sigma isn't by nature an arse. He will first try a friendly approach, but if nothing changes and he sees the behavior repeat itself, he will reach breaking points and will use harsh words to make the other person realize how badly they're performing. Once the Sigma has labeled you as someone not worthy of his time or effort, then he will treat you as if you don't even exist and not even consider you as part of the team. You'll be left out of conversations and will feel pretty worthless. But it's futile to expect the Sigma to feel bad for you. You should have stepped up to the plate, so he sees that as on you. Number 4. He will cut to the chase if you waste his time. The Sigma prefers solitude to socializing, highly valuing his alone time for many reasons. The only interaction he's willing to engage in is that of healthy, positive, and above all, meaningful conversation. Otherwise, he's best off left alone, especially when he's thinking or working. He hates small talk and meaningless chatter, so when he's around someone who continuously talks about insignificant things, then he can't help but feel infuriated. If there's a conversation in which the Sigma gets nothing out of, then he doesn't want to know. He displays a very stern attitude towards these who talk about mindless or half-witted topics. And when he reaches the point where he's had enough of this, then he'll remind people quite harshly about the worthlessness of their words, their wasting of his time, and he will totally shut them down. In doing this, he may cut to the chase too quickly and inadvertently hurt the other person. Number 3. He can be rude and blunt. Sigma males are rational, polite, and fair men on the whole, but their direct method of communication and infrequency to which they show their emotions means they can come off as a little abrasive generally. But when pushed too far, they can come across not just as abrasive or blunt, but downright rude. This is because his first instinct is to stay in control of himself, his emotions, and the situation, no matter how difficult it is. When they are triggered, they do their best to keep it all together, but once boiling point has been reached, he will abruptly lash out in a display of insolence and unpleasant harshness. It doesn't matter who you are either. A parent, friend, life partner, or boss. If you've crossed the line, the Sigma will out you firmly in your place and make sure you get the message. And this isn't necessarily going to be done in a gentle way or with any concern for your personal feelings. Number 2. He will go out of his way to prove you wrong. If he's in charge of a group of people, for example at the office, then he'll try to keep things as balanced and as fair as possible. But he likes things to be done his way, and he wants to be the one to produce the best strategies and to know everything. And for the most part, this is true. If on the odd occasion someone tells him he's wrong, his knowledge is incorrect, and he needs to get his facts straight, then his fury can be ignited. The Sigma is usually always correct, and this is the way that he likes it. If someone tells him otherwise, then he often feels personally attacked. One of his traits as a Sigma male is that he doesn't like to accept that he's sometimes wrong, so he doesn't have much of a coping mechanism for this. So no matter what it takes, the Sigma male will always try to prove you wrong, as he'll become obsessed with the idea that you've labeled him as incompetent or stupid. This might lead to him avoiding you, creating heated discussions over small things, and he may not ever have a healthy working relationship with you again. Now, as we're coming to the end of today's video, just a quick reminder that if you're enjoying the content, then please do share the video and be sure to drop it a like as it really helps us to grow the channel. Now finally, on to number 1. He quits. The Sigma male is not the type of person to work well under the supervision of someone else. He hates following orders and being subservient. So generally, having to answer to a boss or superior doesn't suit the Sigma at all, and as a result, the chances of him getting angry are pretty high, especially when he's ordered to do things with which he doesn't agree. This anger from not being listened to or understood by his superior can become so unbearable that he may just quit his job altogether. The workplace is somewhere that the Sigma tries to control his anger, but having to work in the hell that is other people, experiencing the same stresses every day can quickly lead to frustration for the Sigma, and the chances of him lashing out increase significantly. Thanks for watching. We love to hear your thoughts and opinions, so comment down below on what you think about trying to fool with the Sigma. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. We release new videos every week, so make sure to click the notification bell so you'll be the first to know of our latest uploads. That's it for this one, and we'll see you next time.